All right, let's talk about a true gaming legend, Lara Croft. For decades, the name Tomb Raider has meant pure adventure. But with a history that's packed with reboots and totally separate timelines, figuring out where to even start can feel like you're trying to solve one of Lara's ancient puzzles yourself. But don't worry, we've got the map.
So, just to give you an idea of the scale we're dealing with here, in the main series alone, we are talking about 12 games. Yeah, 12. That's a massive legacy of adventure. And honestly, it's a lot for any newcomer to try and sort through.
And that brings us to the million-dollar question, right? Where do you even begin? If you're brand new to the series, or maybe just looking to get back into it, that wall of games can be super intimidating. Do you start with the original from '96, the newest one? It's confusing, and that is exactly what we're here to clear up today.
And we've got a roadmap for this whole journey. We're going to break down the 3 distinct eras of Tomb Raider. The classic era that kicked everything off, the Legend trilogy that totally reinvented it, and the Survivor trilogy that reimagined it from the ground up. By the time we're done, you'll know exactly which adventure is right for you.
Okay, let's start right at the beginning, the classic era. This is where it all began. This is where a pixelated British aristocrat didn't just launch a game series. She became a global pop culture phenomenon in the mid-90s, and it felt like it happened overnight.
The original developer core design was, well, they were relentless. I mean, look at this list. They were cranking out a new game almost every single year. Titles like the original Tomb Raider and its sequel built the entire foundation of the series on 3 key things: deep exploration, really challenging platforming, and some seriously brain-bending puzzles.
And the Lara from this era, she was just cool. Pure, unfiltered confidence. Impossibly acrobatic, rocking her iconic dual pistols, and absolutely unflappable, no matter what. She wasn't really a character with a deep, complex backstory. No, she was an archetype, the unstoppable force of adventure.
So, after the series kind of hit a wall with Angel of Darkness, it was time for a fresh start. A big one. A new developer, Crystal Dynamics, stepped in and gave us the first major reboot, the Legend trilogy. This was a total modern reinvention, built for a new generation of consoles and, well, a new generation of players.
Now, this trilogy is a really interesting mix. Legend was that total reinvention. Then Anniversary was a brilliant remake of the very first game, but using the new engine, which was a genius move, by the way. And finally, Underworld wrapped up their whole story arc. Together, these 3 really redefined what a Tomb Raider game could be.
This Lara just felt different. She was still a seasoned adventurer, for sure, but way more polished and professional. She had a whole support team chatting in her earpiece, and her motivations were driven by a much more personal, cinematic story. The focus here really shifted to fluid movement and these huge blockbuster set pieces.
And then came the most radical shift in the series' history. In 2013, the series got rebooted. Again, but this time it wasn't just a refresh. This was a complete teardown and rebuild. This trilogy wasn't about an already seasoned explorer. It was about how a young woman was forced to become one.
These 3 games, the 2013 Tomb Raider, Rise, and then Shadow, are really just one continuous origin story. The focus is squarely on a grounded, sometimes brutal narrative. It's all about showing her transformation from a terrified young survivor into the formidable Tomb Raider we all know.
I mean, this Lara is absolutely forged in fire. She isn't born a hero. She is forced to become one just to stay alive. She's resourceful, often she's vulnerable, and she's driven by this desperate will to just endure. And that's what makes her eventual transformation so incredibly powerful.
Okay, phew. We've met the 3 distinct Laras, we've seen the 3 major eras. Now we have all the context we need to finally answer that big question. Which one of these adventures is the right starting point for you?
Think of this slide as your personal cheat sheet. It really breaks down like this. If you want that pure old-school challenge, I'm talking tank controls, tough-as-nails platforming, and devious puzzles, you go to the classic era. If you're looking for a perfect balance of modern controls and classic adventure, something that feels like a big Hollywood blockbuster, the Legend trilogy is your best bet. But if you want a dark, gritty, and deeply personal story that's all about survival, you start with the Survivor trilogy. It's really as simple as that.
And that's the real key takeaway here. Because each of these eras is its own self-contained story, there is no wrong order to play them in. The choice isn't about chronology, it's about finding the right Lara for the kind of adventure you want to have right now.
And of course, for those of you who want to explore every single corner of this universe, the world of Tomb Raider doesn't just stop with the mainline games. Oh no, there are tons of fantastic spin-offs, from awesome co-op adventures like Guardian of Light to brilliant mobile puzzle games like Lara Croft Go.
So that's our map to the Tomb Raider timelines. 3 distinct eras, 3 unique takes on one absolute legend. We've given you all the tools. The only question left is the one right there on your screen. Which Lara Croft will you discover first?